Back again real quick. Unfortunately, I had this scheduled for an hour from now, but can't do it then because my wife is taking off work a little bit early and needs to run an errand and wants me to go with her. So, I have decided to do this now instead of postponing it. I would rather do it earlier, so here we are. And my apologies to those who wanted to attend and could not be here because of the timing. But I'm sure we will all agree that catching up is better than putting things off. So here we are. Still working on catching up for the rest of the week. I've got 2 more shows scheduled for today. They're going to be later this evening. And then I've got 3 shows scheduled for tomorrow, and so far 2 shows scheduled for Friday. The reason I don't have more scheduled for tomorrow is because I also need to prepare for a short auction, which we'll be having Thursday evening in Jessica's stead. I will be doing another auction this week. It's going to be a shorter auction. It's going to be an all-roll auction, which will occur at 8 p.m. on Thursday. I will make an announcement on Facebook to that effect, but I will be hosting this show this Thursday. Here is our roll of 1968S. 68S is one of those that's known for some RPMs, has a couple of double dies, but more than not what we're looking for is very nice proof-like coins, because a really high-grade coin can bring really good money, and I think this roll could be a better grade roll. So let's get into it and get started and see what we've got. And coin number 1 for Jeff Dunn. Coin number 1 for Jeff Dunn. This is Jeff Dunn's coin. It's at the end of the roll, which is kind of unfortunate for the coin because it's the one that has all the spots. Carries everything around for the entire roll, unfortunately. No doubling on this one that I can see. One of the things that we'd be looking for is a little stick coming up out of the top of the L of Liberty. And then the RPMs, of course. Now, there's no double dies known for the 68S reverse that I can think of, but we are going to check them just in case. We're going to be checking the first 10 coins in the roll just to see what we come up with, if anything. This gives us a good exercise in looking at the coins in the roll for markers. So let's go ahead and pick out a marker on this coin number 1, knowing that it is a normal coin, so we will be able to effectively skip through the next one that we see like this. And look, there's a large, looks like a flow mark of some sort from the 6 to the 8. Goes down at an angle in parallel with the flow lines on the coin. So that's going to be our marker for this one. It's actually a rather obvious line. A few little die scratches in and around the date area and around the mint mark. Hello, Pot of Jam. Best coin I found in my whole time searching. Boy. Are we talking about during these reveals, or are we talking about anything I've ever found ever? I don't know that there's actually ever been one coin. I can't really think of one specific coin. I'll answer both parts. Anything ever, okay. The anything ever probably would be about 15 years ago. About 15 years ago, I opened a roll of 1956D, and I found 4 Gem BU examples of RPM number 1. Really nice repunchment mark. I've found other things. Like, for instance, I opened a roll of 1970S one time. Turns out that 6 coins out of the roll were small dates. That was a very nice find, being that those are roughly $50 a coin. You find a marker on this one here. This is a different die, so let's... Okay, we've got some, looks like icicles hanging off the 9. Okay, so we have one that has icicles hanging off the 9. We don't have anything special going on with this coin either. This one happens to be a normal one. Here's coin number 3. Coin number 3 now. During these reveals, probably the best thing I ever found during these reveals, opened a roll of 1938 Lincoln cents one time. 1938, I believe it was. And we found a clipped planchet in a BU roll of 1938 Lincolns. That was kind of cool. Also opened it was a tubed roll of 1956 proof cents. Let's say this one. A couple of little pock marks in front of the face, but trying to find something to be a good marker right here in the date area. I guess that it's got a lot of flow lines because 2 flow lines make an equal sign coming out of the bottom of the 6 going toward the 8. I'll just use that. That 56 proof roll provided us an example of one of the nicest double die reverses in 1956 proof and one of the nicest double die obverses in 56 proof. So it was roughly probably around $300 worth of double dies just in those 2 coins in a 56 proof roll. But I've got quite a lengthy experience at doing this. It's really kind of hard to remember everything, but I have found a few really nice coins over time. Right now, I'm just checking these to see if I can come up with any goodies for my hunting buddies. I haven't found anything yet. The same rules exist for this that did for 1968D, that we're looking at that little crosslet in the G for any doubling there. It's an interesting die scratch combination right there. Also watching the L of Liberty. Let's see if there's any doubling on the L of Liberty going up or going down, either way. Do I grade my good finds? Grade meaning sending it in for professional grading? Yes. Once in a while I do. But I do self-grade a number of the coins I find. I've been doing this for a little better than 40 years, so I've been through many, many different stages in everything I do. Alright, Doug gets a normal coin. And moving on to coin number 5 now. Number 5 is Stonecutter. Now, I've sold a pretty large number of graded coins over the years, many of which I did get graded myself. Alright, you have a great day, Pot of Jam. I'll see you next time you drop in. Alright. Hunting the obverse and the reverse of the first 10 coins, then I'm going to move on to just do the obverse for the remainder of the roll. This is one of those rolls where we're going to find something, it's going to be something good, or we're not going to find anything. Hey, let's see, what do we have here? Is it? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Could it be? Is it maybe an RPM? And what's the verdict? The verdict is no, not an RPM, unfortunately. See the doubling that's on the bottom of the mint mark that I was kind of looking at as a possibility for being an RPM? It would be this stuff right here, and right here. Now, as it turns out, you got it right here, you've got it right up here, you've got it right here, you've also got it right here. That's just machine doubling. Machine doubling affects all of the devices on the coin, whereas a repunch mint mark would only affect the mint mark. And a double die would not affect the mint mark because hub doubling is created prior to the punching of mint mark into the die. So we have machine doubling, the only kind of doubling that can occur on both the mint mark and the date for coins minted prior to 1996. Or 1997, actually. Drag this back in and flip it over, take a look at the other side. Since we are only on coin number 6, we're going to continue looking at the reverses until We get to coin number 10. Coin number 10 will be the last one we'll check on the reverse if we don't find anything prior to then. If we do, then we're going to keep looking at the reverses on the entire roll. And I keep moving my light around because I've got it so close to the coin. It's good sometimes to have it that close to the coin, makes things just easier to see. Now for coin number 7. Mr. McBride. And Mr. McBride gets a very clean looking coin. Very nice earlier die state. Looks like that could be a double die lid. I'm going to keep this out. That might be a double die lid. If it is, I think it'd be the first one listed. Looks a little bit on the minor side, but it's a 68S. Let's get a good close-up check on this. And I'm really thinking not now. Have them closer up. Well, I'll hold it out just in case. I'll let Eric make the decision on this one because I think it's really close as to whether it could be or might not be. I'm thinking more might not now that I've seen it up close, and I know Eric will always err on the side of caution, so we probably won't be listing that one. Lots of markers on that. I'm going to hold this one out just in case. It's a potential. Let's just call that potential. Keep looking for potential. See if we can see any other potential here. This is one of those dates where you hit it or you don't. There's very little in between. There's not much in the way of little minor stuff to be found. It's generally either going to be one of the really good ones or it's not going to be much of anything at all. Coin number 9, this is for Chris Hurley. And nothing on the date. You'll see sometimes when I'm doing this how I'll move my finger around in front of the coin. It shifts the shadows just enough to make the shadows play a little bit so I can see what's going on around them. Wow, that's a late die state reverse right there. Really late strike off that die. And here we are now, coin number 10 for Adam Connor. Coin number 10 now. Got a weak bottom to the 6 there. Or to the S, I'm sorry, to the S. To the mint mark. I meant to say S and it came out 6. It's really weird how that works. Or it doesn't. And that's for Mr. Connor. Now coin number 11, Doug Reese. Mr. Reese. I have now finished looking through the reverses on this particular roll. We'll be looking at obverses from here out. We will recheck every coin in the roll prior to sending them out to their new owners. And when we do that, we'll be checking the reverses as well, just to be sure nothing has been missed. Now we have Yo Man. And, oh, there's an interesting bit of die scratching, clashing, something going on there. Interesting ailment this die has. The design on the 1968 Lincoln Cent, as with the roughly 65 through 68 actually, are very deep, very heavy, dish-like appearance. Very easy to tell the difference between a 68 and a 69 from, nearly across the room. If you can see the coin, you should be able to see the difference between the two. Design is obviously different between the two. You got a nice, thick, heavy design. 1968. 1969, they refined it a lot. Made the design a lot thinner and a lot smaller. A lot easier to mint. There's positive and negative for both. And positive for the 68 is it's a very bold coin. Very bold design, nice dish, very nice luster. When they come shiny, they come really shiny. Very nice. But the down for that is that you have a definite lack of detail. 1968. It's like the hair detail and everything else just tends to be very tired on the 68 design, whereas on the 69 design, it's all been rejuvenated and awakened. Very nice looking design for the 69 Lincoln Cents. And we're going to number 15, to Mike Birchman. And Mr. Birchman gets another one of those. So I've seen this die before. A lot of marks coming out of the face on this particular one. Watching for anybody else to happen to speak up. I know I've got additional viewers here, but anybody has any questions or anybody has anything they want to mention, right now would be a good time to do it because, well, you would have my undivided attention. Here's the icicle die. Looks like icicles hanging off the 9. So we've seen this die before. Hello, Mr. Worley. Anybody has any questions, just speak up. Let me know what you would like to know. I'll do the best I can to answer it. Yo, man. I don't happen to have any of the answers for World Peace. That's a very heavy die scratch right there. Heavy die gouge from the vest up to the S mint mark. That's a very good marker for us for something, if nothing else, just to know that we have seen this die before. Got the design is totally merging with the rim on this one. It's in part a die wear issue, and it's also in part a hub wear issue. One thing I have not noticed in this particular roll is generally 1968. All of them, Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, are plagued with machine doubling. We've seen a little minor machine doubling on a coin here and there, but we haven't seen the massive amounts of machine doubling I'm used to seeing for 1968. Which is a good thing. Oh, looky there. We got a spiked head die crack. That's pretty nice. It's not split. It's just spiked head. Goes from the rim above the W all the way down to the ear. That's pretty nice. That's your quintessential definition of spiked head die crack. Kind of cool. That one goes to Miss Ramlo. Lucy. Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn comes up next. And Mr. Dunn gets... Okay, this is the one with the die scratches east and west out of the face. A lot of luster on these coins. They're very bright. Very nice looking bright coins. Here's one for Sissy. And it looks like we've got nothing going on this one. Now number 21. And number 21 is for Eric Beyer. Oh, there we go. DDO number 1. Boom. Right there. DDO number 1. You can see an extra little spike standing up out of the L and out of the I of Liberty. See if I can get that lighting better. See if I can turn this up a little bit and get us a little better lighting. There we go. That'll work. There we go. Very, very nice. DDO number 1. Now, of course, we've got to check the rest of the coins in the roll again to be sure that we haven't missed a DDO number 1 in the first 20 coins. That's definitely nice. For Eric Beyer there. Eric is going to wish he had been here to see this happen live. And live from the Copper Coin Studios. In Smithfield, North Carolina. The roll reveal. There's one for Mr. Chambers. Nothing there. I'm going to back out on the next coin. That was too close. Mike Birchman. Much better to view him at this distance. Something to be said for magnification, but there's a lot more to be said for using proper magnification. You use too much and you're just going to muddy the water. So make it look like there's more than there is, or make you look extra hard to find anything. Bob. And Bob gets... die gouge. Bummer. Well, that's a normal coin. Now number 25. Number 25 goes to Mr. Marshall. That's actually a bit of a clash mark there. It looks like a little bit of a prisoner die clash. You can see lines running straight up and down at regular intervals out in front of the chin. Those are parts of the columns. It's a slight die clash. Not much, just enough to note that it is. Not really enough to give it any special interest or value. Just a kind of, hey, that's cool. Now number 26. Number 26 for Mr. McBride. And nothing there. Now number 27. Back to Eric again. Lucky recipient of a DDO number 1. This is not the same thing. Now number 28. Malcolm. And Malcolm gets a normal coin. Here's number 29. Oh, we went through a 68S roll and we found a double die. Not something you do every day. You're welcome for the die gouge, Bob. Now number 30. Sissy. See what Sissy gets. Given that we have found one double die in this roll, and this is an original roll, there's of course every chance that we'll find additional examples. So we're kind of poking through here to see what else we can get. It's number 31 for Deanne. Miss Deanne. Very nice soft looking obverse there. Not the double die you're looking for. This is not the double die you're looking for. Move along. Now number 32. This one goes to Mr. Fletcher. Man, hard at work. Not that everybody doesn't work hard, but man, Mr. Fletcher sure works hard. And it's got a little die damage around the TY, but no double die. Now, for anybody who might have missed it a little bit earlier on, I first came on this stream. I am an hour early on this stream. Didn't really want to be, but I have, let's just say, immediate change of plans. Basically, there is a woman involved in my life, so that kind of thing is going to happen. And so I had to do this an hour earlier, postpone it for another day, and I decided, well, I could do it an hour early, why not? So here we are. I have others scheduled for today. There's 2 of them scheduled for this evening. I'll start at around 8 o'clock and finish when I get the second one done. Probably 9:15, 9:30. And then I've got three shows scheduled for tomorrow. And also, I will be doing the auction tomorrow. I'll be doing the Copper Coins auction tomorrow. Jessica has had to cancel for this week. She has other things going on. And I will be doing the auction tomorrow. It's going to be a relatively short auction, probably a box or 2 of rolls, and that's about it. Not a whole lot. Number 36 now. Number 36 goes to Carl Ignatz. Nice big die scratches there. And not a double die. And number 37. Number 37 will be Malcolm. And Mr. Malcolm. Nothing on that one. So I'll have 3 shows tomorrow, and then it looks like I'm going to schedule probably 5 or 6 shows for Friday. And then by the time that happens, I should be able to wrap up Saturday and have finished 16 shows in a week. That looks almost the same probably as the coin I held out for Joe, so I'll push this one out with it. There's a possible doubled eyelid. It may be the same die. This will be for Mr. Fletcher. So Joe and Mr. Fletcher will each get a coin that I do believe could possibly be a doubled eyelid. Possibly. But I will let the assistance of my assistant come into play, and he will give us a definite one way or the other what he thinks. There's a bit of a die clash going on here. Bit of a die clash. I don't really see it here, but I do see it over on this side of things. You can see up there above the TY, right up in this area, this is part of the bay. This is part of a bay, and so there's a column in between these. There's another part of where that bay comes through. So you got your bay here, you've got a bay here. Got a little bit of column doubling going on. Hello, Mr. Ignatz. Alright, that's coin number 39. Now for coin number 40, Mr. McBride. We come back around to Mr. McBride, see if perhaps we can find us a second example of the double die that we found earlier in this roll. Only one of them so far. Only one person lucky enough, that would be Eric, to get a double die in this roll so far. Hey, Malcolm. Now 41. Back to Carl. Good luck, Carl. See what we can find for you. And nothing there. No, Carl, I'll be doing the sale instead of Jessica on Thursday. I will be the one doing the auction on Thursday. It'll be a roll auction. Get a couple of boxes of rolls together so that we can sell some rolls. Get you guys more goodies in your packages that I'm getting caught up on. Now number 43, Mr. Fletcher. Eric, how about DDO number 1, sir? And how about I've only found one of them in the roll? Oh, did I happen to mention the coin is yours? That's right. Here's your last coin. This is not going to be the double die, I don't think. The die doesn't seem to match up, and it doesn't. I figured you'd find that kind of sweet. We'll go back and look at it when I get finished with the rest of the coins in the roll, if we don't see another one before then. Here's one for Sam. That's not one of them. Nothing there so far. Now number 46. Doug Dosmus. Yeah, this one Looks like it could be promising. Nope. Not a double die, unfortunately. Let's see what we do. Okay, Carl, here we go. Let's see what we got for you. Yeah, so it looks like it's probably going to be normal. I think all the ones that I've seen so far with horizontal die scratches are all normal coins. I was looking for something a little more vertical on the die scratches. Here's 48. Got 3 coins left to see if we find another one of those double dies. I'd love to have found a dozen of them in here, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. We've got what we think could possibly be a doubled eyelid as well, Eric. We'll need to have you check through it. Look closely and see if you can discern this as a doubled eyelid or a knot. I think we're probably going to go in the knot direction. Doug Dosmus, last coin. And also not one of the double dies. Well, out of an original roll, you get 1 double die out of an original roll. That's just baffling. Baffles the mind. Okay. And this is not going to be one of them either. Okay. Not there. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and show you the double die that we picked for Eric again, so you can see it. This is coin number 21. So everything prior to number 21 is going to have to be shown, going to have to be viewed very carefully. But you can see they look like little nipples sticking up from the L and the I. Those are actually additional L and I devices that were, well, they were hubbed in, tilted from the normal orientation of the die. And so that is DDO number 1, 1968S. I think it's DDO number 1. Could be number 2. This is, maybe it is number 2. No, number 1 or number 2, one or the other. We've got nothing going on. The rest of the design up here, it's just that LI that has that little extra nub on the top. Best seen at roughly this angle. And so there it is. That's what we've got for this roll. I found one for sure, double die, and all the coins prior to 21 will need to be checked carefully because I found it at coin number 21, but that doesn't mean that that's the only one in the roll, because I could have missed another one or two. And here's what we've got for all of our normal coins, and then we have the 1 die variety, which is coin number 21, and then we have coin number 7 and coin number 38 are possible doubled eyelids. So that's what we've got for this roll. Hate to eat and run, folks, but I'm going to have to take off and get things ready for 4 o'clock. I've got an appointment that I need to run to. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. I will be back tonight at around 8 o'clock, and we'll do a couple of reveals tonight. It is 1DO1. Okay. We'll do a couple of reveals tonight, and then I will be primed and ready for tomorrow morning. We have 1957D tonight, 1961D tonight, and then we'll continue on with the rest of them later. And then tomorrow evening, don't forget, tomorrow evening I will be having a stand-in auction for Jessica, so I will be doing the auction tomorrow evening. It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, my regular time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you guys then. Have a great day.